Welcome to the second part of creating 2D patterns in VStitcher. In this part, we'll use the dress base we created and develop an entirely new style out of it. Let's start by cloning the garment with its stitches, so we'll keep the base as a reference. We'll work on the cloned copy. Using the right click, it'll clone it with stitches. I'll remove the first piece by clicking Don't Use Piece. This will remove the pattern from the 2D window and the 3D window. Now we can dress the cloned pieces. I would like to separate the dress into a skirt and a top. To do so, I'll slice the waistline to create the skirt. First, we need to add a waistline to the back piece. We can drag a new horizontal guideline and snap it to a point. We can slice the shape directly with the guidelines, or we can trace a guideline as an internal line. We can now hide the guidelines using the right click. Next, I'll convert the diamond dart to holes using the context menu. For this stage, I would prefer to work on half of the pattern at a time, so in the context menu, I'll cancel the inner symmetry and keep half of the pattern piece. Next, I'll select the new waistline we just created and slice the piece. Note that the slicing removed the darts, and there are only internal lines now. For the front top piece, I would like to create a princess. I'll turn this into a dart, enable edit points, and move this apex on top of the other one. And now I can rotate it. I'll use the upper dart for the rotation. I'll snap it to the lower dart, select the part that will move. For the rotation, I can either use the gizmo or add a value of 0 in the upper dart so all the fabric moves to the lower dart. Then I'll simply click Done and dress. Let's move to the skirt. I'll start by converting these lines into a dart and rotate it to the bottom. Select the part that I would like to rotate, insert 0 value, and done. Let's do the same for the back piece of the skirt. Convert to dart, rotate, change the value to 0 and click Done. For the top back piece, I'll convert these lines into a dart, then converting to dart, I'll automatically sew the dart's lines. Let's go back to the skirt front piece. No need for the dart anymore. In the context menu, we can implement it and delete the unnecessary corner points or change them to a point. It's recommended to enable trace changes. I'll refine and smoothen the lines. Let's do the same for the back piece. Implementing the dart, deleting unnecessary corner points, and change some to points with handles to curve the line as we want. Now we can create new inner symmetry for all pieces. And press Prepare. Next, I'll sew the new parts. Remove previous stitches that are not needed anymore and insert new ones. I'll use multi-stitch to sew the skirt to the top, on the back, and the front. Now we can dress. When reviewing our dress in the 3D window, we can see that the waist should be narrower. To do this, I'll select the top back corner point and insert a new value. We can also add a mathematical value like -0.5, and the program will automatically calculate it. I'll do the same for all of the corner points in the waistline. Let's update the simulation and we can see that the waistline looks much better now. Moving to the skirt, I would like to spread it more and make it a bit longer. For the length, I'll activate the slide tool. Add 5 cm and update the simulation. For the skirt spread, I'll insert a slash and spread. I'll place it in the center and spread it almost till the edge. I would like the centered part to be locked and stay the same. For the other parts, I'll add in the context menu 4 slash lines and 3 cm per spread. I'll do the same for the back shape of the skirt. In the 3D window, we can review the slash and spread results, and we can decide if this is what we're looking for, or if we would like to make some changes. For example, to change the slash lines amount to 5 and the spread width to 2.5. I'll do the same for the other piece as well. And update the simulation. You can keep the slash and spread feature to enable you to continue editing the spreads. If you would like to edit other edges of the shape, the spread needs to be implemented first. Since I would like to straighten the side seam of the skirt, I'll implement the slash and spread. You can do it by clicking on the slash and spread icon or through the context menu. Let's change the view in the 3D window to check if the side seam is balanced. We can see that the back is slightly shorter. To make the back longer, I'll first use reduce points or remove all the points that were created by the slash and spread. I'll also use multi-move, so all the other points will move in relation. I'll gather the center point on the edge and add 1.5 cm to it. It seems a bit too long, so I'll change it to 1 cm. Great! I'll do the same for the front pattern piece. I'll also reduce points to the upper edge to create smoother lines. Reviewing the garment in the 3D window, we can see that the side and the back are now balanced out, but the front isn't. I will make the front longer as well. The center front in the pattern isn't supposed to be longer than the side seam. I'll use the measuring tool to compare the length of the center front and the side seam. The length of the center front is almost 43 and the side is also 43. This means that we can't add length to the center. Looking at the 3D window, we can see that the waistline looks like it's pulled up. This means that the length change should be done from the top. I'll try to do the adjustments from the waistline and move this point by 0.5 cm. I think we need to add a bit more, but we need to see how it affects the dart. I will activate the dart's preview closed and flip it. We can see that there's a big angle, so I'll add another 1 cm to this point. We can also move the dart's points. In the context menu, we can choose how we would like to move the dart. I'll choose the left corner and move it on the y-axis by 1.2 cm. Let's update the simulation and see the results. This looks great! We can now save a new snapshot and compare the developed style with the base one, so we have both in the same file and the history steps of their creation. In this demo, we showed you how to create a new style from an existing one using darts and slash and spread. To learn more about pattern piece creation, visit our help center help.browseware.com.